Prologue. A vast refugee column of children known as the Snake crosses the Elan Plain, fleeing famine, violence, ribbers, and the child-stealing fathers. Rut. A starving adolescent unknowingly leads the Snake while carrying the infant held, giving the others a fragile belief that someone knows the way forward. Badal, gifted with prophetic poetry, witnesses the Snake's suffering and names it a road of death. Among the children, Visto carries lethal parasites and marches toward an inevitable end, symbolizing the fate awaiting many. Far away in Ampelus-rooted, Calith, a human destriant among the Kashan Shamal, is forced by the insane matron Gunthan Akshil to join a new seeking to find human champions for an approaching war. A Chagall assassin accompanies the mission to ensure obedience. Elsewhere, fragmented visions reveal Hiboric ghost hands for seeing Jade suns and the beginning of an unstoppable, world-threatening war. Book 1. The Sea Does Not Dream of You. In Chapter 1, chaos spreads across Letheras as multiple threads converge on a single night. Malazan Marines track down and forcibly detain Fiddler under orders from Adjunct Tavore, who is preparing a dangerous deck of dragons reading. Sin and Grub explore the abandoned Azith house, discovering it has departed and uncovering signs of ancient powers, including a Forkrul Assail Corps. Lieutenant Pors is incapacitated by wasp stings, allowing Sin and Grub to be retrieved for the reading. King Tahol learns the errant Elder God of the Tiles is threatened by the coming divination and sends Bryce Beddick to warn Tavore. Tavore proceeds regardless and summons key participants. Bug secretly protects Seren Pedak and her unborn child, revealing Trull Sengar was Knight of Shadow and the Errant seeks leverage through the child. As 13 participants gather, the Errant waits, intent on murder, and midnight approaches. In Chapter 2, Silka's Ruin arrives in the refugium seeking to speak with Rudalali, warning Udinas that the boy's Elaint blood places him in grave danger as a coming catastrophe approaches. Silkas asks Udinas to give Rud into his care, explaining that what is coming will destroy the refugium and everyone within it. Udinas realizes the sanctuary cannot endure, and that Rud may be the only means of salvation. Elsewhere, Shield Anvil Tanakalian witnesses the horrific death of Destriant Runthurvian, who warns of betrayal before dissolving, leaving the Grey Helms without sorceress guidance. On the Shake Shore, Yedin Derrig massacres the ruling coven to prevent a coup against Queen Jan Tovis and is banished north. The witches confirm apocalyptic visions of rising seas. Jan Tovis resolves to evacuate the Shake. That night, 2 dragons depart eastward, signaling the beginning of irreversible events. In Chapter 3, Tavor orders a deck of dragons reading in Letheras that spirals out of control. As Fiddler begins the casting, immense power surges through the deck, violently marking every participant with a card except Tavore, whose role remains unassigned. The reading repels the errant when he attempts to intervene, warning him that the master of the deck stands awakened. Across the city, the unleashed power causes chaos, killing or destroying minor gods and triggering catastrophic sorceress effects, including the destruction of an inn. 2 hidden dragons, Telerast and Curdle, flee Letheras after being exposed. The errant later ambushes Bryce Beddick, but is stopped by Ublalapung, allowing Bryce to survive. The Bonehunters recognize the reading as a declaration rather than divination. The army has been marked for a coming war. Tavore resolves to march east into the wastelands, setting the next phase of the campaign in motion. In Chapter 4, Calith defies Elan Law by consuming the 7 herbs and riding the spotted horse, seeking guidance despite knowing the ritual risks madness or death. Her visions show vast cycles of extinction, war, and an old tattooed man tempering an unseen weapon, offering no clear answers, only warnings that desperate choices lead to ruin. She returns weakened and unchanged in purpose. Nearby, the Chagall assassin Garul massacres Barghast scouts to prevent word of the Kachain Shamal from spreading, while Sagchuruk prepares to steer the seeking away from human herds. Among the Barghast, Onos Tulin struggles to find an enemy or purpose for his people, while Seduk foresees annihilation descending from the skies. On the Elan Plain, the Chalmanagal marches on as Visto dies from parasites. Badal marks his passing, and the snake continues westward, soon struck by flesh-eating locusts, beginning the terror known as the Shards. In Chapter 5, the Bonehunters begin reshaping the Letheri army, with Corporal Tar and Cuddle brutally exposing the locals' disastrous reliance on uncontrolled sorcery and catastrophic casualty rates. Bryce Beddict and Queen Janeth observed that Malazan discipline may teach Lethery soldiers how to survive. Inside the Bonehunters' command, Adjunct Tavore reveals the army's purpose. They will not serve the gods and will march east through the wastelands toward Kalansa, where the Fork will assail our